Hello, and welcome back to the Cyber Resilience Brief, a SafeBreach podcast where we cover all things AAV, breach and attack simulation, and cyber resilience. Today, we have two very special guests with us. We have Shachaf Raviv, product manager here at SafeBreach, and Jonathan Tillman, senior technical account manager at SafeBreach. And today, we're going to talk about detection engineering and about parsers. Jonathan, Shachaf, how are you two doing?
Yeah, doing great. Happy to be here.
Thank you. So to start off, Shachaf, could you fill in our audience a little bit about detection engineering and more importantly, what parsers are and why they're important?
I will take it from the SafeBreach perspective since we are talking on that. So one of the main use cases of SafeBreach is security validation. It's basically allowing to give the context of the security control while you're running simulation within your organization, and to bring the context of large number of security control within our platform. You have to have something that translates those logs into something that's actionable, something that contributes to your overall security posture, which is something that SafeBreach put on their flag when in terms of providing a visibility of your overall security and defenses. In terms of what is parsers, we are running a simulation, basically an attack between an attacker and target. And then once we are analyzing the results, we are also fetching events from different security controls. And by using the parsers, we are basically translating the various types of logs into something that SafeBreach understands. And basically, we are giving it the context of the security control within the simulation results, which is basically what defines how effective or not your defenses are. So basically, combining our ability to define if we succeeded the attack or not and the enrichment from the security control basically give you the ability to determine if you are logged, detected, prevented, and who did what. And that's like the overall goal of the parser. And the parser is the main component there when it basically do this translation and basically mapping behind the scenes.
Thank you, Shachaf. That's really insightful. Jonathan, can you give us a little bit of insight as to what this looks like in the field? Like, how have customers responded to introducing parsers?
Absolutely. It's been a very popular thing. They are very excited when they learn about what it can do and some of the options that have been included. The main thing that's exciting for them is that it's able to teach our app how to interpret their detections as they already are. This is important because oftentimes there can be a need for injecting a certain code or a certain tag so that all of the different tools they use can recognize it. And that sounds okay if they start doing that right at the beginning of their detection engineering program. But it becomes very problematic if they already have hundreds of detections, and adopting a new tool would require them to go back and retroactively update all of their previous detections. And so that's a problem they run into in other situations. But instead of doing that, this allows them to teach our app exactly how to process and interpret their detections and any custom fields they have exactly as their detections are. They don't have to have any restrictions for what our tool can and can't parse. They're able to create, update, and maintain that in a very easy way. And it's something that has been exciting and really just well received because it really lets them scale and keep everything running smoothly.
I can see where that can appeal to our large enterprise customers, especially when you think about the fact that now we can integrate with anything and customize to whatever your specific organization needs. Do I have that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Our integrations are designed to be flexible and adaptable, often having ways where you can optimize the query for your specific needs. And this is an extension of that that just allows like end-to-end processing, really like an automated analysis of the logs that lets you scale your validation in such a way that you can keep up with the speed of the business and the speed of security operations.
Shachaf, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, so in many products that we have in the industry today, there is a limited a number of integration that you can have. Of course, that you cannot integrate with all of the integration and create a dedicated integration for each one. And one of their use case is to integrate with their SIEM product. And basically, the goal of their SIEM is to collect all of the logs within all of their security controls. So the ability to parse basically all the logs that exist in the SIEM and give it as a context for the simulation, no matter what tool there is behind that log, if it's an internal EDR or an internal security control, anything basically that they want, they can basically enrich with the parsers and give the detection ability and the detection context within the simulation result. And they can give the context for the prevention and the logging and all of this kind of stuff that basically allows you the full flexibility, although we don't support all of the products that exist in the industry in terms of direct integrations.
I'm wondering out loud. I came from Cyber GRC and we dealt a lot with mid market and then suddenly went up to large enterprise customers like what we have today. Would you two say that parsers is a must have for every organization or only organizations of a certain size and complexity?
I think it's a must have for everyone. When you're dealing with so many different controls, you're dealing with logs that are in different formats. And then a lot of times there are different log forwarders and log processing, like middle apps that connect different data. And so all of them can have their own impact in changing the structure of a log. Even if it's slightly, it can break some things in the chain. And so the ability to adapt all of those different things within our platform is far superior than having to try to work with every tool owner, every other application owner, to try to have them make some caveat or special handling of all the different logs from all the different places. Just being able to process it and as it comes in and adapt it to exactly how you want it to be processed, it's really critical to be successful at scale.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about practically speaking how one uses parsers and customizes it for your organizational needs. We have a brand new Parsers UI. Can you tell me a little bit about that without teasing too much what's to come?
Yeah, I think that like every product, I will start first of all with the problem, what we are trying to solve. And we had parsers before within our platform, but the experience was a bit tricky. Customers couldn't understand how to create it manually, how to create it on their own, and how to maximize all the possibilities that we are providing within the parsers. And from what I understand when I just approach to that problem is that there are no some self-explanatory experience for creating a parser, and it should, because it is something that is advanced for some users. What we wanted to achieve is that we wanted to give the experience that the user is choosing the log that he wants to parse. And basically, he's entering into a new whole experience that basically takes you step by step through all of the steps that the parsers contain, like all of its component. What are the matching conditions? The field mapping. So how do you map fields from the log into the SafeBreach fields? How do you define your status? What is logged? What is reported? And what is prevented? And on top of all of that, what is the priority of the parsers? When it should be triggered? All of those basically are being concluded into a whole experience that is the new parser that we are providing.
Absolutely. The parsing experience that existed before, you could get the job done. It often required some collaboration with our customer success team and myself or one of our coworkers. And that was good, but the demand and the need for creating new or updating or optimizing parsers grew and got to a point to where we recognized that if we empower all of our customers to do this as needed, it really streamlines their workflow, makes better use of their time. And so the new UI focused on all the feedback we've got in different steps of the process where a customer would have a question or get stuck and need to have another screen open and reference documentation. we took those and it was transformed into a UI with several steps that make it clear this is exactly what you're doing, and then you can even check your work at each stage, which is a phenomenal experience now. We're getting really, really great feedback on it.
Amazing. Well, we're coming up on time. Thank you both so much, Jonathan and Shachaf, for being here with us today. Is there anything you'd like to add before we sign off?
I think that it is important to say that this is one step within the detection engineering, and we are planning much more in the future. There are more things to come, that's for sure.
And we'll be talking more about this. But again, this is just one step in the process. And we also want to hear the input and feedback and insights from our customers. And so we welcome that when you attend and participate. We look forward to hearing all of the thoughts you have.
Thank you so much, Jonathan and Shachaf, for being here today. And for our listeners, we are having a webinar on a new Parsers feature and about detection engineering at SafeBreach on October 15th, 2025. We will provide you the link in the description. You will be able to ask Jonathan and Shachaf questions about SafeBreach's parsers, the Parsers UI, and general questions about detection engineering. We'd love to be able to meet you and be able to answer your questions. Stay safe with SafeBreach. See you next week. The Cyber Resilience Brief is a SafeBreach podcast. It's produced by Tova Devorian and executive produced by Adrian Cully. Sound design provided by Adobe Podcasts. Distribution provided by Podbean, and extra support and love from the SafeBreach team. For more information on how adversarial exposure validation through SafeBreach can protect you and your business, no matter where you reside or what industry you're in, please visit us at www.safebreach.com.